just about 2 years ago, actually 2 years ago at this time, Morgan had been getting sick a lot. And we kept going to the doctors, and she had the flu and she had strep. And so something just felt off. And so 2 weeks before she turned 6, we went to the doctor again with kind of a list of our worries. And we ended up at the hospital to get some blood work. And a few hours later, she was admitted. She had the diagnosis of leukemia. So it was overwhelming and crazy and not at all on our radar. I thought she had Lyme disease. I was sure I knew what was going on. And so
we've all learned in this year, we've all become doctors this year, you know.
Absolutely.
We're all medical experts all of a sudden. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I was ahead of the curve there.
Oh, sure.
So she ended up being in the hospital for about 2 weeks. And she has been in treatment. It will be 2 years at the end of January. Her treatment is scheduled to be done in April. So we are super excited, looking forward to that ending. She's doing great, but it's been a tough couple of years for her. She's pretty little, obviously. Yep. She was in kindergarten when it happened. And so one of the things we learned about while we were in the hospital was about Camp TaKumTA. And it really has been a silver lining in all of this. When you go there, the level of joy is incredible. You can't help but be happy while you're there. And you kind of forget about everything else. Morgan was too young to do the full week of camp the first year she was diagnosed. But we went up and did Future Campers Day. And we've done play groups and we've been to the holiday parties. She did get to do winter weekend in February before things shut down.
Okay.
Which was awesome. There was a huge snowstorm, so we were worried it was canceled, but they ended up, people somehow got through the snow and they got there. And
that just made it even better, right?
Absolutely. So you got to do lots of sledding, right? Yeah. And so that was lots of fun. And then we've done all the virtual stuff this year, which has been great. So, in July, there was a parade that came by our house and dropped off stuff to her, and she's been able to stay connected. So it's been fantastic.
So talk a little bit about how important it is to you as a mom, having camp be a free thing for the family with all the medical bills and everything that you're going through as mom.
Yeah, I think, it's actually been a huge support for our whole family. It's not just been Morgan. So there's a dad's weekend that my husband went to, kicking and screaming, but I think he had a lot of fun. I've only done virtual mom weekends because it got canceled the year that I was ready to go. We have an 8-year-old and she went to siblings weekend. And then, Morgan's obviously had this, and, we actually are fortunate that we have Medicaid because Morgan's adopted. So for us, we haven't had that financial thing, but certainly as we've gotten to connect with families and see the impact that it's had on other families, it's amazing to, have that experience and to not have to worry about that. I think it's hard in general to pay for camps when you don't have significant medical bills or, kind of the overwhelming, stuff going on in your life. I also think it's just super huge to have a camp where there are these amazing volunteers that are doctors and nurses so that you feel comfortable sending your kid there and not worrying for a week about, what happens if she gets sick, or are they going to remember the medicine? And so it's really fantastic. So she wrote something because she wasn't sure if you want to read what you wrote?
Sure.
Go ahead. All right, go ahead. Don't get shy now. Go ahead.
My name is Morgan. One of my favorite things is the staff and the playhouse. Lots of people and kids are so happy. I like to swim and play. It was so fun. They are so much fun. I feel happy. We did a Halloween party and Christmas party. We TP'd cabins, and it was so much fun. It makes me feel happy, and it will make you feel happy too. And it has so many animals, frogs and bugs, and so many more. And It is a great place to be, and I think you will like it too.
So, Morgan, I have to ask you now, whose idea was it to TP a cabin?
The staff's?
Oh, it wasn't your idea? I heard it was all your idea.
No.
No, really? Wow.
I think her idea was the water gun attack on the security staff.
If you folks are wondering what happened to all the toilet paper around the world in 2020, it was Morgan. She went down to the No? All right.
It was you.
It might have been. It might have been. Morgan, that was a wonderful message about all the great things. And just think of all the things you'll be able to do when you get to stay there for a whole week. Doesn't that sound like fun?
Yes, a whole week. Yes.
When?
This summer,
Well,
hopefully.
hopefully, knock on wood, you'll be there this summer. All right.
Okay.
Okay. It's cool to send Morgan to Camp TaKumTA. Make it happen, folks. 863-1051 or toll free 1-800-501-9565. Peggy, you had a chance to do, you said, a virtual mom's weekend.
Yeah.
What did they do?
So we started out with a game just to kind of get to know each other. And then it's really just a chance to connect with other people that are in the same boat as you. You know, if you haven't had it and yet, you know, a child with a significant illness like this, you really can't truly understand it. And so the chance to have the opportunity to just talk to other moms, just to have that connection, also resources, and to kind of share what you figured out or what to hear from someone else, what they figured out or connected with, was great. Apparently when it's in person, you get like massages and wine. So I'm really looking forward to it being in person again.
Well, I don't know about that, but I can tell you, if you're new to the TaKumTA story, you may not know this, and you may not know this, Peggy, but at the beginning, when Mark and I started this 20-something years ago, they had days of the week where all the kids came in and got treated at the same time. And all the moms would sit out in the waiting room and chit chat and share all this information back and forth. Now everybody's cancer is so individually treated that the kids all have different times and different days, and the parents just weren't getting together to share that information. And so camp providing this is really a huge deal, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. And, you know, I think the other thing is the siblings weekend. Can't talk about that enough because, you know, our other daughter's only a year older. Obviously, it was unexpected for us. It was unexpected for her to come home and have her parents both at the hospital with her sister, you know, to be picked up by someone else. And you have no choice but to pay a whole lot of attention to the child who's sick. And so the child who's not, by default, doesn't get that attention, or as much as you try, they certainly feel like they're missing out. And, you know, there was a point where she actually said something like, when do I get to get cancer? And that's heartbreaking because, number one, she really doesn't understand clearly the significance of it at the time, but two, just to have that feeling of just needing more. And so it's also great for her to be able to go and have a weekend away and connect with other kids who also may be experiencing or are experiencing, you know, a similar situation of just, you know, and so to have a weekend for them that has nothing to do with the fact that, you know, their sister or their sibling is ill, I think was great as well.